Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is January 21st, 2021 and episode 388. It's a little bit backwards, but we still got it through. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly. Kelly? We're just leaving it with Kelly. Yeah, I was going to go Kelly Lynn, but yeah, that fell flat on our face last week too. Nobody used their middle name.
Kelly.
We still need to come up with a middle name for you. By the way, It is the 21st, right?
Huh?
It's the 21st of the 21st year of the 21st century. Everybody was posting that today. I'm going, yeah.
21/1/21?
Yeah.
Neat.
Not really.
Nothing about this year or last year has been very neat.
No.
Anyways,
I sound like I have the COVID, but I don't.
Wait a little bit and take another test, I guess. Hey.
Oh no, it's because of the test.
It's because of the test?
Yeah.
The vaccine or the test will give you COVID. That's what I hear. So you got the test? It's got you gave you the. No, I'm just messing with you. Come on.
No, I had the pipe cleaner up the nose today.
Yeah. That might give you the sniffles.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Getting the old brain tickled. Yeah.
Fun things to do on Thursdays. All right. Well,
we could talk about guns and stuff rather than like tickling your nose and
pipe
cleaners.
Why don't we talk about guns?
All right. What we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Centre, Canada's premier firearms retailer. They got a bunch of stuff. Check out store.theshootingcentre.com and see what they got.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did you see? Okay, like on our Facebook page, I put a little feature on them. Go and check them out. Use the link. Go to Instagram. Like them as well. They're helping support the show. So go and say hi to everybody over at the Calgary Shooting Centre. They have reworked their website as well. I like it. It's much better than it used to be.
Have they?
Oh, yeah. A couple of years ago, it was...
Oh, I've used their new site since then.
Yeah, it's been probably about a year and a half since they updated it. It's really, really user-friendly now.
Usually companies need like a little bit after they get a new website out too to have like all their products on there and the categorization working and sales and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, looks good. Yep. They got some Hollow Suns. They got some Hollow Sun stuff. Neat.
Yeah. Hollow Suns. You know what you need to do. I know you've already done it really a little bit. You've done a comparison a little bit of red dots optics. You really need to do a good comparison. Like wide breadth, like Hollow Sun.
Buy 10 of each of them.
Yeah.
Fire 1,000 rounds through each gun.
Yep.
Test them for durability. Start whacking them with a hammer.
Yep.
Yeah. Dragging them behind a pickup truck. And then check the fog. And then complain about the clarity after I've dragged them behind the pickup truck. This is garbage. Come on. Why would you even buy this? It's all scratched up.
No. Yes. No.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. Go check out the Calgary. It is expensive.
Yeah.
You should get a sponsor, maybe. The Calgary Shooting Centre. Go and check them out. Say hi to Jeff for us as well.
Yeah. Kelly, did you want to start with what you did in guns this week?
Not a lot. So I took part in a Maple Seed Shoot Boss meeting, and I did that with Adriel. Spent a few hours talking on the phone with some people there. What else did I do? Sent out some stuff for Maple Seed. Maple Seed. Oh, I actually contacted a couple of ranges for Maple Seed. Other than that, nothing. I didn't go shooting. We have some... I made plans to go shooting, though. So I actually will be going out either Saturday. I might be working on Saturday. If not, it will go on Sunday. And that's about it. It's been pretty quiet, actually, here. Haven't bought anything. Haven't gone to SFRC. They're closed. It's like...
Everything's closed.
It's playing with my mojo right now. Yeah. Oh, well. But that's about it. I'm looking forward to actually the whole province getting back up and running. Kids are going back to school on Monday. Yay! And because I think parents are going crazy. And that's about it, I guess. What about you? What'd you do?
Let's see. I did a couple things. I think on one of the shows I was talking about doing the Maple Ridge Armory Maverick thing, which is 308.
Yep.
And I don't have a reaction rod or anything like that. And our buddy Ian from the Canadian Prepper podcast and the Canadian Patriot podcast, he said, "Hey, I got one of them. You want to buy it?" I'm like, "Yep." So I bought it, and it's on its way.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very convenient. Very convenient when
Yeah.
people are like, "You need this," and I have one to sell it to you. It's like top-notch service. Love it. And I got a good deal on it too.
I don't. Yeah. Well, Ian's a really nice guy, and so yeah, he probably gave you a really, really good deal. Hi, Patrick.
And then I published a video on the Remington 783 heavy barrel and these Bushnell Engage 10 magnification 42 objective binoculars. And one of the cool things on them, if you can see on my background here, I spritzed some water on the lenses, and this thing has like a hydrophobic coating on it, so the water like really beads up. And if you just give them a flick, water just flies right off of there. So it's both easy to see through because that water isn't like smeared over the lens. It's like in little like very vertically focused balls, and it's easy to clean off too.
Right. And it makes great photos as well.
I like that photo. The photo looks neat, right? It's all sparkly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I mean, I had them out. I went for like a hike with the fam, and they're pretty neat. There's a couple of things I don't really like about them. One is like the scope caps just kind of like bump off if you hit them on the bottom there.
Right.
And there's some stuff on it that's not quite as nice. The focus like knob on it, really, really nice. And a couple of other things. Just go check out the video if you want to know more.
Okay. Where can they find that?
Hunting Gear Guy YouTube.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, and the other thing that we did this week is I featured you and the Hunting Gear Guy
on Slamfire Radio. Yeah.
On Slamfire Radio. So what I thought it'd be a really cool idea to actually start taking some of our co-hosts, some people that have been on as well, feature them. Also our sponsors. Let's give them a shout out. Go and do all the social media for them. So go and check out Adriel on the Hunting Gear Guy on Instagram and also on YouTube, and I put all the links there.
On YouTube and stuff. Yeah. I do Instagram every once in a while when I'm just like horsing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all about the likes. You do know that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm waiting for you to do TikTok.
OnlyFans is the one that everyone else is waiting for. That's the one people like, geez, finally. I'm on Pornhub, so if you
I know.
I am on Pornhub. I do have a channel.
No, I know, but didn't we were talking about uploading. There was a time when everybody was thinking that, YouTube and Facebook Live was going to go down the tubes, and we were going, okay, how are we going to keep the show up? And we were thinking Pornhub, and that's, it's just, I don't know. Anyways.
It's closed-minded thinking. You got to be open-minded.
I'm pretty open-minded.
Anyway, so I uploaded some more videos to Full 30 as well, and as well to BitChute.
Oh, yeah, you're on there.
I've just been, I don't know, trying to like be on all the platforms just to see what's going on, see where there might be audiences. Because like the primary issue is that everyone's on YouTube. So to get them all to say to move to Full 30 or to BitChute just for gun videos is it's a bit much for some people. So I would be really like this sounds kind of self-defeatist, but I would be really happy if YouTube just banned anything to do with guns. That would just put a nail in this thing. And then we could just say, okay, all the gun stuff's on Full 30 now. And if you want to know anything about it, that's what shows up. If you Google it, it's going to show up to Full 30. It would be much nicer if it was just done with, and we didn't get this death by 1,000 cuts thing going on. Because I think that's the most annoying thing about what we've got going on right now.
Well, okay, so let's do. I know we're talking about what you did in guns, but I do want to talk a little bit. The whole Instagram, there's a lot of people, and they're going on Facebook, and they're just, they're telling everybody, I'm getting off Facebook, I'm deleting my Instagram, I'm deleting Twitter, and I'm deleting YouTube and all this. They can't be on Parlay anymore, and they are getting on. So it's hard to actually, we don't have a lot of spots to communicate. But the other thing is also, and I thought about this, and I thought about what's happening with that. It means that people are actually leaving in droves, and they're leaving in droves, but it's not having that presence there, and it's not having those communications still. I know people don't want it, or they're thinking, well, I'm going to get banned anyways, but until you get banned, at least you're going to have those conversations. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think that like Tim Crosno is starting up some groups in MeWe and that kind of thing. I think that's the right thing to do.
MeWe's been around for a while, right?
But building the community in those other places.
Right.
So that when your groups do get banned, you start in the other place that's like more freedom centered. Yeah, less censorship, more freedom. Because like, some people want to do this because they want to say like nutso stuff. Some people like me, I just want to be able to share 3 gun memes.
Yeah, exactly.
And not get my group banned because of it. So yeah, that's why I'm interested in it in some of these other platforms. Signal looks really good. Signal's like fantastic for the messaging and that kind of thing. And and some of the guys locally here are starting to use that. We don't really have a solution to replace Facebook just yet.
No, not yet.
I don't think
because
we will.
That's where everybody is too. So I'm on Signal. You're on Signal. You haven't messaged me, by the way. Jason Phelps has so. Hi, Jason.
I'll message you later then.
Okay.
Let's see what else I do. Maple Seed meeting. Yeah, we did some Maple Seed meetings, documentation, and collaboration and stuff. And then as part of one of those meetings, Rick was talking about like, hey, what about known distance? What if we did one of those? And I'm like, what is that? That sounds like like a lot of work and that kind of thing. But then I was thinking about it like, oh man, that actually sounds like it would be fun to shoot with like a big boy rifle rather than just a 22, because you can finally like crack out something that's center fire and make good use of it. So
and you can do it with a straight pull in the timelines.
But why? Because I got a semi-automatic. I got a semi-automatic 223. So if it's shooting out to 400, this is fine.
But I'm not talking about just you. It's not all about you, Trevor.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but it's not processing. Like,
I saw that people do.
I saw an opportunity to set up an optimal rifle for an optimal game and game it. And I'm like, yes, I'm all about that. Yeah, I could run a bolt action, or I could run my M1 Garand, which is like basically like purpose built around this kind of thing.
Exactly, it's what it's for.
Or I could get something that's a gamer rifle that's just perfect for it. So
yeah, I know.
I had my WK-180C. I've actually I've been taking scopes off and on it, and not really taking out shooting that much. I want to go coyote shooting with it, so I need like a scope on there. And then for known distance, it's like, well, I need a scope for that as well. Like nothing too fancy, but something okay would be fine.
Yep.
But then I was thinking, 2 birds, 1 stone. What if I just made a rifle that would work for both of them? So that's kind of what I've got set up here with this WK-180C. Is I've got it set up for basically like center fire maple seed. So I've got an adjustable sling on there. This is one of them cheap eBay ones. Whoop. Adjustment.
Yeah, that's the one that you were talking about last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't. Did I mention that I cut that and I like glued it so it's like shorter on the bottom? If you don't do that, they're way too long. Now, mind you, I can't use it as a single point sling anymore, but super quick for adjustment and whatnot to use as a maple CD sling. And the other thing I've done, I love having my charging handle on the left hand side. I don't have it on the left hand side anymore.
Yeah, you put it over there. Why
I do that? Well, because if I'm standing and I've got my left arm up in a sling, it's not really convenient to get over to the left-hand side to charge it. So I swap the charging handle over to the right-hand side. It does have a use. Despite what I say about right side charging handles.
And Mike says, "Nah, run a bullpup." For those of you who are not watching, that are listening, Adriel just went, "Oh, no."
I would run a bullpup if I needed like a coyote gun where I need to like stash it in my pickup truck and I'm driving around like, oh, there's a coyote, and I gotta get out and like pull my gun out because they're nice and compact and whatnot. But for anything performance related, something.
You just don't trust a bullpup that much, especially if you're in the prone position and you're in timed or anything like that. What happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the pro would be like with this one, I'm going to run like little 10-round mags, but I still can't like get my hand like flat underneath. It's still going to be a bit of an angle, or I'm going to have to run it with the V grip like that. So I might like that. That's not quite as optimal as like a nice flat hand underneath, but you might be able to do that with a bullpup. Might be able to. You don't really have like the distance between your points of contact are
Yeah, I know.
super
I'm
duper
just thinking
close,
about
though.
it, and it's not really. Yeah, it's not gonna. No.
Yep. Whereas with this thing, it's going to be more accurate. Now, I mean, the other thing I'm going to do. So I thought about that. I'm like, okay, well, I gotta get this out with some commercial ammo and test it to see what my accuracy looks like. So I thought, like, oh, you know what? I'm doing that. I should also take my WSMCR out and have it printed for groups and see what kind of accuracy difference the two of them have. So
That's a good idea.
I chucked a big bad scope on this thing. I've got my red dot just kind of hanging out, and I'm not going to need to re-zero it. I'll just throw it on afterwards. But yeah, I chucked a big bad scope on there, and I will check this one versus that one, like for like on different ammo, same day, shooting and whatever. So I will do that. And then on one of my buddies had asked a while ago, like, "Hey, can you run a WSMCR upper on a WK180C lower?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll test that." And I didn't, and I didn't, and I didn't. And finally, I got around to it. So
That's the verdict.
you can put the WSMCR upper on a WK180C lower, but it's not a terrific idea. The upper comes with this pin, this cross pin here, and it can't go through the WK. There's no room for it to.
Okay.
So it'll just kind of hang out the side, or I guess you could take it off. But otherwise, it fits. The other thing, you can't go the other way, though, because the WK doesn't use a cross pin for stability on the back. It's got a little lug on this upper that goes down into the receiver, and the WSMCR doesn't have a spot for that. There's no spot for that lug.
So it won't fit. But vice versa,
the other way. Yes. And then someone asked, like, what's
shim, that? Because you don't have that pin, is there any shim or play to it in the back at all? Or
there's play, but like not a whole heck of a lot. I mean, there's play in this thing right now. Like if I grab, you can hear that.
Yep.
There's play in the upper and lower. I don't care. There was play in my ARs, say between the upper and lower. That doesn't affect accuracy. I don't care. So, I tried the BCGs. Someone was like, "Hey, can you make the BCGs work in each other?" No, you can't. They use like completely different cam pins, and the cam track is very different. So, long story, you
so everything really. Is proprietary.
Barrels you could swap.
Yep.
You might be able to swap gas blocks and pistons. Maybe
that's your next thing. Maybe check it.
I'm not going to do that. That's like way too much work. Well, like cracking open this like the screws on this one on the forend on the WK just like are not coming out unless I destroy them, and I don't really want to do that, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it. And yeah, so I'll head out to the range this weekend, and I think I'm going to shoot those. Get 2 guys at 100. I've got 6 different kinds of ammo that I'm going to run, like some nice commercial. I've got some gold medal match. I've got some different hunting ammo, and I know the hunting ammo out of that guy. There's a couple different loadings that'll print like MOA kind of a thing. So yeah, I'm hoping to see some good stuff. And then I have like a really like a flashlight about yay long, 6 inches long, on my Glock, just because it's one of the better flashlights I have, but it's like way too long and it looks dumb. So I was on Discord and I was like, "Hey, what kind of gun light should I buy?" And then someone messaged me and is like, "Oh, I'll sell you one." Cool. Okay, so I got a TLR1, which is a nice one. It's the high lumen version, which would be like a good solid pistol light kind of a thing. And then I also thought, but what if I got one off eBay? So I did that too. I got both.
The cheap one off of eBay?
I got the cheap one off eBay and the real one off this guy.
And you're going to compare the two.
Yeah. What's the difference between like a real streamlight versus like a knockoff one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine there's a difference.
I hope there's a difference. Yeah. That'd be good to see.
Phil was asking if you could drill the WK lower. Sure. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'd have to take a look at what's back there.
Like drill it to accept the MCR cross pin. So he wants to know if you can drill it to put a hole in it.
Yeah, I
Pick
think
the cross
so.
pin and put it through.
Yeah, because it just extends a little bit further. I mean, this is some redneck stuff, though, like drilling these guns so that they fit each other.
Yeah, but
I mean, the advantage is that
who likes to take a Dremel to everything.
Well, for performance, I like performance enhancing Dremel, not performance dehancing. Like the advantage here is for anyone who has got a WK and like the pistons broke or something else out of the top is broke, like you can put an MCR upper on there, and they have a more durable piston, they have a more durable receiver, tracks, that kind of stuff. So there's that. I guess that's why people are asking, because they're wanting to know if it's possible to replace those. It looks like you can, but it also looks like it's a bunch of work. I wouldn't really recommend it. Yeah. Mike was mentioning that the O-lights are having some Samsung Galaxy level exploding issues. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. I've seen a couple of the O-light, specifically one of their pistol lights. The battery's been popping on them. Anytime you get a built-in lithium battery, there's going to be that risk. Now, whether those is because of like bad circuit protection or something like that, I'm not sure. I know some of the original O-lights, you could take the charging part there, and if you arc that, it would cause some issues, which seems like a poor design choice. But I don't know the most recent ones. I'd imagine they've like this. It's just like the odd QC issue they're having with those. Anyways, yeah, I didn't get one of those. Maybe I should get one of those. See what I got to do to make it blow up.
Yeah.
Blow it up on purpose.
Yeah,
just like bash it.
That's another podcast down in the US. There, a couple of our friends that are on that. They do that.
Bash stuff.
Yeah, they blow things up on purpose. Although it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Blowing things up on purpose is a lot of fun.
Yeah. My YouTube video's got to make more money for me to start doing that.
Speaking of YouTube videos and demonetizing, did they? So that little AR, the toy one, it's still
the AK.
Or sorry, yes, the AK.
Yeah. Someone was asking, like, "Hey, is this like?" I noticed this video didn't have any ads on it. Did you demonetize it, or did that YouTube? It's like they randomly demonetize stuff. You can appeal. Like on the AK1, I appealed. I'm like, "Yo, this is a toy. It's clearly like a tiny toy. Why are you demonetizing this?" No response.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, like Remington 783 Heavy Barrel, still good to go. My Tokarev one, still good to go. The Hollow Sun, no, that one limited. It's very random.
Why?
There's no reason.
No.
Some of them get restricted, some of them don't. It's because they don't care about the viewers. They actually don't like them.
No.
And
actually, it's So, by the way, your videos they're very funny. They're starting to get really more than just informative. They're also entertaining. So, just thought
I told my kids that because my oldest is editing them now, and I told him he gets an extra $5 if he adds a good, tasteful meme to it, and he is very motivated to do so.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. That's perfect.
Yeah. You got things burning down, and I got Corey Johnson's backyard at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Phil was saying he has a WK and he'd like to get an MCR 762 upper, 762 by 39. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I did in guns, and that's all you did in guns, right?
Yep.
Let's get on to upcoming events. Upcoming events are sponsored by Telos Alpha. Telos Alpha is a Canadian digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help make you websites and get you hooked up with payment processors that won't kick you off. Learn more at telosalpha.com.
Sweet.
Do you want to talk about this Maple Seed Rifleman thing?
Okay, so I got contacted by one of the shoot bosses that Basically, he's reaching out to Manitoba and seeing if any of the. He hasn't had much response from some of the ranges in Manitoba, and part of it is because of COVID, but also because we haven't really been in Manitoba all that much. So he's looking for ranges to contact him if they're interested in having Maple Seed come by and swing by and have an event. So you can actually contact Ryan at Manitoba at mapleseedrifleman.com. Now, that being said, if you live in those other provinces like Alberta or Ontario, you can actually take that province's whatever it is.
If you want a Maple Seed event at your range, talk to your range people and then get the email. Alberta at mapleseedrifleman.com or Ontario at mapleseedrifleman.com or
British Columbia.
Is it British Columbia or is it BC?
I don't know. You made them.
I'm pretty sure it's BC.
Okay.
Who could be bothered spelling out the whole thing of British Columbia?
So that being said, if anybody's listening and they would like to actually potentially have an event at their range and they haven't had one before, because I am going to be we contact the people that we've already been to, and then we're also actually looking at exploring other ranges as well. But if you specifically want to know if maybe we can swing by and do an event at your range, contact us by just the province name and mapleseedrifleman.com. Send us an email. We all get it. Right, Adriel? You set it up that way, right?
You get it. I only get them if they're Alberta.
I get them all.
If they're in the center of the universe, I don't care.
Okay.
That's just where all my transfer money goes to, is to Ontario and Quebec. I don't care about the rest of the stuff.
Oh dear.
Not a topic. All right. News. Okay. Dennis Young passed away. This is
So does anybody, you knew who Dennis Young was, right?
Yes.
Okay. So some of our listeners who didn't know who he was somebody he used to actually be RCMP, and then he retired, and he's done a lot of work for firearms owners, basically in researching laws. He's done the ATIP, so the Toronto police chief, when he was saying that 70% or 80%, what was he saying, 70 or 80% of
whenever people in power talk some shit and talk some shit that isn't real and is fake news,
where Dennis comes in. Yeah. So he's been writing articles, testified before the Senate and he passed away this week. So sad news for us, actually.
Yep.
So,
yep. Good guy. Holding anyone who takes the piss out of the government, my bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Let's see. Next news item. Some WX-MCR firing pins were not properly heat treated. So this was on Wolverine's website and Facebook group. And if I could just show what you're looking for. If your firing pin looks kind of gray and not quite very shiny and that kind of thing, it may not have been properly heat treated. And you just need to let them know, and they will send you the right one. Yep. Yeah. They had a very simple method of doing that. I think it was just like you send them your serial number or something, and they just put it in the mail. So it's very straightforward.
Good job, Wolverine.
On
rectifying the situation.
Indeed.
Yep.
The next thing is sponsors for New Gun Stuff. For New Gun Stuff, we have Bolt Action Coffee. Slamfire Radio is now a brand ambassador for Bolt Action Coffee. The coffee is roasted in small batches and is some of the best coffee you can get your hands on. Send it to your house by going to boltaction.com. That's boltactioncoffee.com. Discount code Slamfire.
Yay!
New Gun Stuff. I saw this come up on CGN and I was like, what is going on with this thing? Because let me just show it.
Yeah, please. I'm pulling it up as well.
North Silvis shared this out on their page. It's the Lakefield A22R Pro Varmint 22LR. They call it a straight pull action, but it's not really a straight pull action. It's a bolt release thing. It's an A22. This is a A22 in a Varmint Boyd's Varminter stock.
Yeah.
Look at that thing that's underneath the trigger guard there. That is the bolt release. So this rifle's made for places you can't get semi-automatics. So you pull a trigger, the bolt comes back, it gets locked back. You do something with that thingy, and then the bolt goes forward, and then you can take your next shot.
Weird.
Yeah. If it was in, like, I don't know, Australia or UK or whichever place has even more screwed up laws than us, and they have to run these things, if it was there, I would see why they have it. For Canada, I have no idea why this is being sold here. Because, like, aside from the stock, which is like a fantastic stock,
it's a nice stock.
The varminter is great. The gun has no reason to really be here in Canada because it's not. It is a disadvantage in every way, shape, and form compared to the semi-automatic version. Because you have to pull this little thing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just going. It's my inner voice is just going. Why?
Well, I mean, if you're in Australia or the UK, I guess it would be neat. But yeah, for here, not so much. Anyways, I thought it was interesting.
It is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You've been coming up with some real winners lately.
Weird stuff. Well, SHOT Show is happening right now, or not happening right now, but all the companies that would have like done stuff at SHOT Show, they're all going to have like weird stuff to show us.
That's true.
I can't wait to see what stupid thing Franklin Army has come up with this year. What thing where it's like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, but this is the weirdest way you could possibly do it. They're going to have one of those.
Have you heard anything about them doing like virtual launches at all? I haven't seen really anything like that.
One of the places I saw said, like, download our app and you can see the new stuff, but I imagine I'm just going to wait for press releases to start coming out. I imagine that's how we're going to get them. We're going to get a bunch of press releases all at the same time or in the same like matter of weeks. And yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's the Keltec one was supposed to be like a SHOT Show special, and like it got leaked early because they've been sitting on that for a while.
Yeah.
So
first time in a long how long has SHOT Show been going on? First time in history. Canceled. They're being proactive is what Phil Gibson says. Thanks.
Well, like it's usually known for the plague. So you take a year when we have a real plague.
Okay. I'm talking about the Lakefield.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Lakefield thing. They're being proactive. I hope not. No.
No, I hope so too. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Neat.
Anything else?
No, not really.
No.
Well, I mean, like the real news and the thing we're going to talk about for our main topic is the injunction hearing was on the 18th.
It was on the 18th at night. No, I was at work, but I did actually periodically get updates from. I watched the feed on Facebook with Tracy and then also Ian Runkle as well. Got some of his updates as well through Twitter. But no, I was not able to watch it live because I had to work. But
there was some weird stuff. There was some stuff where like, what?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Yeah, like what was the one thing, because it was over everything. What was the one thing that you went, huh?
I mean, there was a couple, like the FRT is not a legal document; it's an opinion, but also we can charge you based on it. It's like, whoa, and then the variant thing. So, what about this variant? It's like, well, it has to be ambiguous, otherwise, people will build rifles that aren't variants according to the definition.
Right, and like, who said this?
Well, who said that was the government of Canada's defense lawyer.
Yeah,
and saying we can't make this too easy to follow,
specific.
Otherwise people will follow whatever law we make. And it was that one was the stunner, because it was like, how could you possibly be justifying this vague, ambiguous law by saying, well, just in case we want to change our mind, just in case we want to do something else, in case some gun owner or gun manufacturer starts making something that isn't a variant. Ooh, we get to say it is a variant because it's ambiguous. Yeah. I think that a lot of the cross-examination of Murray Smith
was excellent.
Looked really good. Yeah. Murray Smith is, if you don't know, is one of the lead people at the CFP. He was one of the guys who had been responsible for like the Blaze 47 being categorized as an AK-47 variant and that kind of thing. And I would say that the efforts to make him look like an expert were not great. They kept saying, this guy's a forensic scientist. It's like, what's his qualifications for being a forensic scientist? He's been a bureaucrat for 20 years. That's it. I mean, and he's got some experience in being a bureaucrat, sure, but not really anything on the forensic side or any of this other kind of stuff. It's just a paper pusher, right? So, I mean, that looked really good. There was a couple of other like things in there that were quite odd in the we're going to do this thing, we're going to ban all these guns, but people can get other guns. Okay, people are going to get other guns. But then there's this other part. It's like, well, if people get other guns, we're going to have to ban those too.
Yeah, and that's
what are you talking about? Okay, you're going to ban them, and then you're also going to ban the ones that people get as replacements. It's like, what is going on with this? It was just so over the, like, there was a couple things that were over the top, and a couple of things where they were arguing based on defensible positions, and a couple things were not really defensible. My hope is that now with an injunction, you need a large amount of evidence to overturn them.
Right.
My hope is that at the very least, this casts the FRT in a very poor light and does something to the FRT, because right now the FRT is this silent hand that affects the market that you can't really use. Mm-hmm. Like the FRT that the government gives to us plebs is a 500 megabyte PDF reader that will crash most PDF readers. That's our accessible rights to know whether we're breaking the law or not.
And it's not something that's current. It's only updated periodically as well. They only update it compared to those that are retailers, which is overnight, and then again with those that are verifiers, which is basically real time. So anybody who is just Joe Public, that was one of the things that was being discussed as well. How are people supposed to know what something is that they have is prohibited?
Oh, and like he was saying like, oh, just don't take it out.
But how do you know?
You'll know if you get charged,
right?
And then you can argue in court whether it should be in there or not. It's like, well, what are you talking about? I gotta like put my life on hold and get a serious criminal charge from the government to know whether this shit's legal or not.
Yes.
Yeah. That was. And
the judge actually started asking these questions too. It's concerning when. But then again, it's, as you said, there has to be a lot of evidence and a lot of to basically put an injunction into place. There has to be so much evidence that and I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Right, because this isn't like necessarily like a court case to determine legislation. This is a court case to say, whoa, the government just did something. We need to stop it immediately. This is like such a terrible idea. Everyone's gonna, everything bad's going to happen, so you have to stop it right now.
Right. And the CCFR is the ones that actually filed this, and they did a really, really good, like the whole team did a really good job with presenting it. They showed it from various points of view, as well as retailers, those that how much money that they're going to be losing as well.
Yeah, I think when it, like some of the specifics on that could always be better.
Right.
But I think that overall, like a really good show.
Did a great job.
There's a couple of people that were all kind of like doing it at once. So it was some of them had really good arguments. Some of them had not quite as good. But I think that's what you get when you attack something from every angle possible. Because some of those arguments are very, very strong. Some of them are maybe, I don't know. We'll include it just in case. Yeah.
So, overall, what is your thoughts on we originally were looking at having some people on to discuss tonight. They weren't available, so we thought
it's
have a little bit of a chat about it. So, what are your overall thoughts about it?
we won't know anything for another, like, so they gave their arguments to the judge. Now the judge, like, and if you watch the proceeding, like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, there's so many angles to think about, so many things, so many angles to consider. So the judge will need, I don't know, a month or two to like read through and come to what she thinks we should do about this. So
it doesn't happen
cool
overnight.
seeing the argument, but it doesn't mean anything today, and it won't mean anything for a month or two. And I think that like getting the full injunction in would be the coolest, because then, well, it would probably raise a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Okay, the injunction's overturned. Okay, your AR is illegal, or are they? Do they have a valid registration certificate or not? Courts have found that they don't. Like the government's tried to cancel those, right?
Right.
So can you take your AR to the range or not? Maybe still not. So I don't know. It would be nice. The thing that I think is the clearest in terms of like, this is like pure overreach with a total BS way of doing it, is the FRT changes after the fact. And
that was,
for example, the ATRS or even the modern sporter, right? Saying beforehand, this is a unique firearms design. It shares some stuff between some firearms, but really it's a unique one all on its own. And then the next day saying, nah, this is an AR-10 variant. It wasn't an AR-15 variant before. It wasn't an AR-10 variant before, but now it is. Now it's an AR-10 variant. And these shotguns, AR-10 variants, all of them, they're all AR-10 variants. Looks like an AR after I've had too much to drink, AR-10 variant. That's the most egregious thing that I'm hoping that this overturns, because it is the most stick in the eye.
And
government can do whatever they want to, and they can do this stuff fairly arbitrarily and fairly unfairly with no recourse other than just get yourself arrested with this and you can have your day in court, no problem, right?
Right. So Mike H says the judge did actually say that this doesn't make sense, and it threw the Crown Attorney right off. And that's where, and again, like Adriel said, well, it has to be ambiguous or it can't be well defined because people, right?
Yeah, there was
what's a variant?
3 lawyers for the Crown, and I would say that 2 of them were there for the paycheck, and one of them was like there to win, and it was bringing the heat on arguments and that kind of thing. The other 2 were just bench warmers. Bench warmers is what they should have been. Yeah. Anywho, that thing happened. It means nothing for us right now. It won't mean anything for a couple months. But once that comes up, it might mean something.
Right. And so so you're absolutely right. We're not going to hear anything about it. So people keep asking every day, and they keep asking, every hour of every day. So when are we going to hear? When are we going to hear? We're not going to hear for a while. The judge is actually going to review all the evidence that was presented, and it's going to take her a while. And then she will put in make her decision and release it, and it'll be shared. So do you know what, and then maybe this is actually something that's better to be asked of a lawyer or Michael but is she able to actually make recommendations or upheld portions of it, or it's just, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Is it a full injunction, or is it just portions of it, or
I'm not a lawyer, but I'm willing to bet that she can partially, like, she can grant some of the relief that, like, because whenever you're asking for relief in an injunction, you'll put down a list of stuff. I want the government to do this and this and this, and I want them to pay me money and pull their pants down and say that they're dummies, and they'll, like, the judge could, like, pick from the list of things to grant.
Yeah. Again, Mike's chiming in. He says, imagine the sales if the OIC was stayed. No kidding, right? And it was the most watched injunction to date as well. Well, yeah, it's set precedent because it was actually being aired. Oh, and that's the other thing. So,
I almost forgot about that. Can you believe we almost forgot about that?
Oh my God. So if people actually did not hear about it, one of the things that happened was there was a screenshot of the judge that was posted on Twitter, and it was actually not a very flattering comments that were made, and unfortunately, it was.
Fortunately, it was Police Soviet. They were the ones breaking the law. You cannot do that. You cannot take screen caps or rebroadcast by a video.
No, you can't.
And they were doing the meme show as they were going along.
Okay, just hold on. So it was read into the official record that this was done. And then, so originally it was thought that maybe somebody who was a gun enthusiast did it, but it was found out that it was actually Police Soviet. And they acknowledged that it was them, and they took it down. They said, oops, we didn't know we weren't allowed to do that. Well, I call the BS on that. Anyways, but that's besides the point. And then they're being called out on it, and then they're saying, well, you can't. So we're not allowed to post this, so you're not allowed to post the fact that we posted it, and you have to take down yours because we had to take down ours. And we're going, no, that's not how it works. It was quite funny. It was funny, you got to admit, but it was also
fantastic. I love it. You gotta love, like, it's a petty thing, but you love seeing other people fail.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit of, court exposure and whatnot.
It was the biggest moment, I think, for Canadian firearms owners. And
since the LGR got roasted.
Yeah. So, and it was nice to see. It was actually, the counselors that were there, they were professional. And people were, as they said, as Travis is saying, it's the most viewed and most watched injunction that there's ever been. People actually are passionate and care about their firearms. So the other thing that happens with that, now what? While we're waiting, we're still going to have to actually prepare for the Charter Challenge or any of the other challenges that are happening as well. So you know what? Go and support those groups that are doing that. Really, really have to. I've been sharing it and asking and making donations as well. If you like your guns, you're going to have to actually go and support either the CCFR or any of the other ones that are actually doing these challenges too.
Well, it's like, old guys telling younger guys, like, oh man, back in the day we could buy AKs and go out to the gravel pit and shoot them with the 30 round mags, and it was fine, we just shot pot. And then we're going to be having those discussions with kids. Oh, back in my day we shot 3-gun and we had ARs, and no one ever got killed with one of them, but the government banned them anyways, and that was that. And it's a shame not to fight for that, because it's a fun hobby and no one gets hurt because of it. There's no mass murders in Canada because of AR-15s. I don't see why we gotta ban them all. Well, at least because of legal ones that are legally owned. So I don't see why we gotta ban them all just because Trudeau feels that it's a good way of getting votes.
True story.
Yep. Cool.
Okay.
Let's
when there is a decision, let's have some people on. We can discuss it and see how it's going to affect us. But until then, people go out and support those groups.
Maybe we'll do a special show when it comes out.
I think it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Let's get on to listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, Cerakote finishes, as well as polka dot paint, wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. Facebook. Doug was saying, anyone traveling to the States under the 6th NIA, you can't take anything on the new ProHeb list, REARs, to compete as of last week.
Right.
So, no.
The reason is because it's not in the OIC. It's listed that you can't actually travel with them. You can travel from the gun store to pick it up and go home with it, but you can't travel with them. You can send them down to the US and export them.
For sale.
Yeah.
But you can't. I'm pretty sure there's some other things in the way of doing that. Anyways, good luck with that. Yeah, that's hard to do. Brandon was asking, anyone else going to buy a FAME? So the FIMAs, I didn't see them up for sale yet, I think.
We were talking about those.
We talked about last week, the ERE systems ones.
Yep.
They look real fancy. I kind of got to get this Maverick, this MRA Maverick build done in February, I guess. So that's going to be my priority for the next month. But maybe after I clear out a bunch of stuff. Oh, I got to mention that. I'm trying to sell a bunch of guns right now.
Okay.
I am selling.
What do you get?
You want to buy some of this stuff? I've got a Marlin 795, Winchester Wildcat, Mossberg Plinkster, all these 22s. I on top of that, I got 5 10-22s. Savage Axis and 6.5 Creedmoor, Mossberg Maverick 12 gauge, Remington 783 heavy barrel in 6.5 Creedmoor, and a Boyd's Varmint stock, and a Scorpio SKS 15.
Anyway, if anybody contact Adriel if you actually are interested.
No, I'm not selling guns right now online. That's not.
No, we're not.
I'm telling you what I've got for sale.
Oh yeah, that's too. Yeah. Thanks for doing that, by the way.
Yeah. If you want to buy any of that stuff, Kelly, that's all the stuff I'm trying to sell right now.
Okay.
I got a whole bunch of like value priced guns that I bought specifically for review, so I could dig into the technical guts of them and put the review up there, because like some of them, like that Mossberg Maverick, it's not really a good review out there. There's a couple of yokels like shooting it at a range and like, it shoots real good in my hands and that kind of thing, but no one's taking it down and like showing all the individual components of it torn down and comparing like the size and weight and that kind of thing. So that's why I bought that shotgun. I've got a much nicer semi-automatic for 3-gun, but I think that part of what I like to do is make videos for things that first-time shooters want to buy, so that they can get the research and then get it like really detailed information on some of this stuff before they buy it, or after. Some of them do it after. For them, they can they'll at least see how to like take it down and disassemble and reassemble and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's actually what a lot of gun owners use YouTube for, the disassembly and reassembly. And
you can get stuck. Some of them are a little bit weird. Some of them are kind of tricky. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I want to get into some emails. So I'll take this first one from Steven, and then you can take Patrick afterwards.
Cool.
Hello, Slamfire. Sorry, first I wanted to apologize about not including a viewer discretion is advised warning on those photos. But in all honesty, that scope was installed without the advice of the hosts. It has been sitting in my safe like that since 2016. When I bought the scope and rings on my way home from a charity event, scope hasn't even been sighted in yet. So you are absolved of all wrongdoings that created that monstrosity. That's all on me. I just wanted to see what the reactions were before I go about outfitting the rifle properly this year. Oh, he was trolling us. On that.
So this is even from last week, and we really actually should probably use a photo or get it up on there at some point.
I didn't pull it up last week?
No.
Oh. It's see-through scopes with like a National Tasco or something like that on top. Yeah. And he was trolling us.
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's written in with his goals for 2021.
Yeah, so some of his goals, more trap, maybe skeet or sporting clays, outfit the 1022 properly, attend a Maple Seed when the province decides we are no longer grounded and lets us out to play. I love the analogy. Can I go out and play?
No.
Thanks for all you do, Stephen from the center of the universe. P.S. David was from the Canada Guns talk show. He hosted the Sig and Glocks episode. Oh yeah, that Dave. Dave M.
Yeah. I got it afterwards.
He was on when the Sig drop thing was a thing. Like the drop. So he dropped his Sig a bunch on air for us.
It didn't work. Dave was on twice. We had him on twice.
Yeah. He's firearms training right now. He's training for the CFSC, the Canadian Firearms Safety, the PAL test, the PAL and RPAL test. He's doing that thing now.
Is he?
I speak good. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is good because we need more.
We do.
For most provinces, we need more instructors and more instruction going on because there's the demand outstrips the supply of trainers. Do you want to take this next one from Patrick?
Okay, so this one's from Patrick. It says, Happy New Year to the Slamfire crew. The holiday season was good to me, and I'm now the proud owner of a CZ Shadow 2 Optic Ready and a Mantis 10X.
Sorry,
Elite.
I think you mean CZ Shadow 2.
My objectives. By the way, this is from Patrick, who lives here in Kingston with me. So, anyways, I'll interject
with
here.
Is he in the back there somewhere in the trees?
No, he doesn't live with me. He lives in Kingston, here, around me, someplace. Anyways. Hi, Patrick. He's watching probably too. Anyways, he goes on to say his objectives for 2021 are to complete a Black Badge course, start competing once COVID lockdowns are over, yes, take a pistol shooting course, and complete a maple seed with his little sister. So he's taking into consideration the current lockdowns and potential future lockdowns. I was wondering if you had any winter training tips. I'm a Southpaw. Insert sarcastic comments from Trevor. Okay, you know what? Trevor's not here, and that should have been in italics. I'm currently focusing on training on trigger control, sight alignment, and efficient manipulation of the firearm. That's perfect, actually. Make changes, stoppages, and draw. Thank you for your suggestions you provide. Regards, Patrick. So, Patrick, I think actually Trevor did get back to you because I guess he was figuring he wasn't going to be on, and he said actually move the pistol course up and the Black Badge down a little bit, and so that you can prepare to go to the Black Badge. So, yeah, but you're right. Go and train with some trigger controls, sight alignment, and stoppages. So I have some ammo if you want. That'll help you out with that. The other thing is with the Black Badge course, they might run one. They have enough people at FRPC. If you contact Henri, tell me you're interested, then maybe we can do one. It has to be under 5 people right now and outdoors, but we can still do one. I wonder how we would do the indoor. We're not allowed indoors. No, that's not going to work. Okay. You got anything for him, Adriel?
Learn to shoot right-handed. No? Is that not a valid thing to do?
No. A lot of our friends are Southpaws. Do you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Bolivar, Filthy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them. Anyways.
Learning to shoot the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Trevor. Hello, Slamfire gang. Just listening to the last few episodes. I assume that since Adriel drives right by my house on the way from Edmonton to southern Alberta to shoot gophers, he would know where Didsbury is. I mean, I said it's roughly familiar. I see it on road signs and stuff. Just off the highway between Red Deer and Calgary. I thought Trevor from Didsbury was preferable to slightly less crabby Trevor who doesn't work for us, or Trevor from Didsbury who sold all his guns to Mike from Canmore. Really nice guy, that Mike. But I digress. The Brimstone trigger is no problem to ship to Canada. I've asked and received twice. Perhaps because they're doing work on your trigger, although I like to mention they will sell you a new trigger and do the work on it too. Adriel's welcome to stop by, talk guns, or borrow a trigger, or 22, anytime. Although I'd rather he took me gopher shooting. I grew up in BC and hunted as a kid. A brief 25 years of pursuing a career and kids left little time for guns. Got back in a few years ago to teach my girls to shoot, just in time for the Butler Creek magazine fiasco. That was annoying enough to finally get me involved. I supported the CCFR and recently got my RPAL. I watched a dozen sappy Christmas movies in exchange for my wife getting hers too.
Okay, you got to go and meet this guy. I like it.
I had a restricted FAC years ago, but my handgun got caught up in the prohib mess in the 90s. Dad was a hunter, trainer, and firearms instructor, so we were some of the few following all the rules. It was easier to just put the gun in his name and store it than for me to get a permit every time I moved in my transient college days. Anyone want a prohib Ruger 9mm, by the way? Now I can't even inherit it back. So my 2021 goals are shooting something. Maple Seed, 3-gun, Black Badge, whatever. Is there a Team Adriel versus Team Kelly in Maple Seed newbies?
There is.
There's definitely one of those. Unfortunately, Kelly won this year.
Hey,
and
you know what?
We're not going to. until you like crammed in a bunch of late season events.
Well, hello, but you started earlier.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. And I just finished later. Now, the other thing is, I have to say something about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Great Pyramid Scheme, right? Because everybody that comes from you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got your rifleman patch and shoot bossiness from me. So therefore, everybody that actually is a rifleman in Alberta is linked to me.
This is some MLM like Avon level like logic you're putting at this, Kelly.
What it means is I win all the time. All the time.
Okay. I think you do. You do even when you don't want to. You're going to win. I'm not sure. I'm sure I can swing it in favor of Team Alberta. See? Also,
well, he's in Alberta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to swing it in
Trevor
favor
from Didsbury, I will travel to Alberta. I'll give you a private maple seed.
No. He's going to shoot a 250, and it's going to be at my event.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many maple seed riflemen you turn out, you won't have the 250.
Corey Johnson.
A 250?
We're going to get it.
Oh, you're going to get it. He doesn't count.
Why not?
Because I said so. Let's see here. Also, I need to buy Adriel's Matrix Aerospace he reviewed. I need a not AR-10 and 308, and he can't even remember what it was other than not a Stag 10. Oh, well, unfortunately, those were named in the OIC, so they're prohibited. The Maverick isn't, though, and it takes all the same parts. So that's interesting. He doesn't deserve such a nice gun. Maybe if the OIC lawsuit doesn't go our way, I'll build a Renegade in 7.62 by 39. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Take care and tell Grumpy Trevor to find a bright side and keep shooting. Cheers, Trevor from Didsbury.
The other Trevor. Although, no, we have a better Trevor. This would be the other Trevor.
Trevor 3?
This is Trevor 3.
Yeah. When I taught in China that some of the kids had the same names, I just gave them numbers. All the girls wanted to use the name Angel because it was early on in the name book, and it was like they liked the definition. So I had like 3 angels in one class. It's like, nope, Angel 1, 2, and 3. Done. That's what we're going to do with the Trevor. So I'm not going to have like Grumpy Trevor, Better Trevor, Trevor from Didsbury, which is somewhere on the way between Edmonton and Calgary, I guess.
I'm surprised I don't know where it is.
You've probably driven by signs for it.
Probably many times.
Yeah.
Okay. Trevor from Didsbury, thank you for updating us on the trigger as well. So we should actually look into that. Order one.
And then the other thing to mention is that we'll probably have some events. The closest one to you might be Drumheller or BTSA next year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe Rocky Mountain House. Maybe
we were still looking at Ponoka at some point, weren't we?
I haven't talked to any of those guys over there.
Yeah,
so maybe that would be nice in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
If any of you guys are execs or can bend the ear of one of your execs at your clubs, bend their ear and then send us an email, alberta@mapleseedrifleman.com. We'll get an event out to you.
That would go to Adriel. But it also goes to me because
you're competitive. You're like, how many events is he running? I got to run a few more. If you'd like to email the show, email slamfireradio@gmail.com.
Sweet.
New Patreon supporters. We have a new Patreon. Steven.
It's Steven.
That's Steven.
It's that Steven. It's the one up,
yeah.
It's that Steven.
Steven is sponsoring us for 127. What cartridge is that?
I have no idea.
127. 127. I don't know what that one is. Neat though. 12.7. 12.7 millimeter. That's a big one.
Yeah. Oh well. Hey, it's $1.27. So
we appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you have not, send us your address, and I will put a patch in the mail.
He
There are
has
some
it
other
there.
people that mentioned on the last Facebook Live that I didn't get their patch in the mail. Please email the show your address so I can put a patch in the mail. Or if I'm going to meet you in person this weekend, mention it, and I'll bring some.
No. Yeah, I know who actually both messaged it, and you're not going to meet them this weekend. One's in New Brunswick, and one's in Montreal.
Okay, I thought one person from Sherwood Park mentioned.
Okay, if that's
show.
I don't know who that would be. I know the other two. All right. Send your. Actually, why don't you just send an email to the show, slamfireradio@gmail.com. That way we know that it's actually there instead of contacting him.
And then Kelly can give me crap if I don't get him out. Checks and balances. That's what we need. Shout-outs. Kelly, do you have any shout-outs?
I do have a couple of shout-outs. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Ryan McLean on his new endeavors. He's going to be moving. It was announced today that he's working for MDT. So I wanted to say congratulations. I'm going to miss you, though. I wonder what that means for Meaford. It means that we're not probably going to have Meaford.
You weren't going to have Meaford this year anyways.
Shush. I was hoping. It was in September. It would have been in September. Anyways.
Maybe. September.
Yeah.
Well, no, I imagine you have to get something like that approved like way in advance, right?
Yeah, it's military range. Oh, yeah. Well, right now they're.
The nice thing with Alberta ranges, they're willing to be like, yeah, it's all locked down now, but it'll probably be fine for the.
Well, no, but military, right?
Not with military.
Yeah, so there's some discussion happening right now. That's where Random Dave is actually. He's talking about some stuff for. Yeah, we don't think that
service rifle. What are you even going to do this year for service rifle?
That's what he's at, the meeting he's at, and they don't think the ranges are going to be open up to them too, or maybe I'm assuming that's what they're talking about. Well, that's what he said they were going to talk about, and I assume that the ranges
are going to be open. Come out to Alberta, do some.
Well, that's what I mean.
Service rifle out here.
Yeah.
With your SKSs and M1 grants.
No, it just means. Yeah. So if Ryan's out in west, it means that he's probably going to go and do some of the stuff out west. That just means we'll have to go out west and do all these shooting.
Got to drive across the country.
Drive. No. Fly. Costs so much less to fly. And a lot less time too. Yep. But yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations to Ryan. He really, really deserves that. And and congratulations to Adam Cool, who's going to pick up the gauntlet for the Northern Rimfire series. So he's going to do everything since Ryan's leaving as well. So yeah, good for them.
Finally, check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. Like us on Facebook. Right now we're at 2,692 likes. Join the CCFR. Reach out to your provincial legislators about the upcoming handgun ban and make sure that they're on your side, or at least know where they're at.
Yeah, that's true.
And we'll see you next week.
Yay! Oh, yeah, we got some great guests coming up.
We do. Big names. Big names.
Big.
See you next week.
Bye.